Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about adding zippered pockets to your bag. This is a simple way to add zippered pockets to any bag. So I'm just going to go over the technique. The instructions are in your pattern also. So in this technique, you're going to cut your pocket pieces. Now, if you want to add a panel to the end of your pocket pieces, just follow the instructions in the pattern as to how to add your panels to the end. It could be a quilt block that you like or a piece of fabric that you like, but it's very easy to do, and just follow the instructions in your pattern. Once you have your pocket pieces all set, and most times it's just going to be a piece of, two pieces of fabric, you're going to place those two pieces of fabric right sides together, and you're going to slide your zippers in between those two pocket pieces so that the outside edge of your zipper tape and the raw edges of your pocket pieces match. You're going to stitch those on with a 1/4 inch seam, and you're going to do that on both ends if you're adding a pocket to the front and back, or just one end if you're adding a zippered pocket to one side, and then you're just going to bind the other side. So sew those on with a 1/4 inch seam, flip it right side out. The other thing to note is that you want to make sure that your zipper tabs are facing up as you sew the pockets on. Now they can be in opposite directions or on the same, your zipper tabs can be on the same end, doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. You want to iron them. You want to pull this seam out and iron this flat. Then you're going to stitch across with an 1/8 inch seam. You want that stitching to be right on the edge, this edge of the zipper tape. So right along there. That will keep your fabric from catching in your zipper as you open and close it. And this is what it will look like after you've done your sewing. If you can see that stitching right there. So it just keeps it nice and flat. The next thing that you want to do is you want to trim your excess zipper. And in the pattern, you can use a zipper that's larger if you happen to have them. It doesn't matter because we are going to trim them down. So what you'll do to trim them down is you need to stitch across the zipper before you cut it. So stitch about a 1/2 inch away from the edge of your fabric, stitch across the zipper, and then trim it. When you do the side where your zipper is open, you want to make sure that you pull your zipper pull back and then stitch across, because if your zipper pull is out here beyond your stitching, you won't be able to open your pocket. So once you've done that, sewn across here and trimmed your zippers, and you'll want to do it on both sides if you're doing two pockets, you're going to make a pocket cover. So that's going to cover the top part of your pocket, and that's also going to allow us to attach this pocket to the center panel. So to make that pocket, the zipper cover, you're going to take a piece of fabric, and the instructions for cutting are in your pattern. You're going to fold it in half, right sides together, and you're going to stitch along the edge with a 1/4 inch seam. You created a tube. You're going to turn that tube right side out, and I use a Turn-It-All tool. It has a tube and a skewer. And you're going to take that tube, slide it inside the tube that you've created, and just push on the fabric. And it's a quick way of turning a tube right side out. You have a seam. What you're going to do with that seam is you are simply going to place it about a 1/2 inch from the top edge of your zipper cover and iron it so that it now looks like this. So that's going to be the top edge. You'll take your zipper cover, this is the bottom edge right here, and you'll place that bottom edge just below the bottom edge of your zipper tape. Pin it on, and I've done that on the other side. So I'm going to pin that on. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to stitch across the top of the zipper tape, attaching the zipper to the zipper cover. You may have to move your zipper pole back and forth a little bit to get the stitching done. So once you're done, your zipper is going to look like this. And you can just open and close it, but your zipper will be finished on both edges. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to attach it to your center panel. Now I'm going to show you what the center panel looks like. You should have completed this part of the project already. And this is your center panel where you've just simply fused fabric to both sides of your interfacing. Draw a line across your center panel at the very center. Do the same thing with your pocket pieces. Match those. And then I'm going to pin this on. You pin on that center line and then on each corner. I'm just going to do one corner. And then you're going to stitch the top, very top folded edge of your zipper cover to the center panel. That attaches your pockets to the center panel. And that seam is right here. So that now your pockets are attached to your center panel. You'll do this on both ends. And on the opposite side, if you want to add pockets on the opposite side, I would add the open top pockets. Now the pockets are just simply bound on your short ends. You draw a line across the center, match, and pin those pockets on. And so now you have pockets on both the inside and the outside of your bag. The next step, which is attaching the sides, will also show you how to delineate the very bottoms of your pockets. So you're going to have a seam running across the bottoms of your pockets. And we'll show you that in the next step, which is adding the sides. That's it.